Hello guys, this is a very important and a very special video. Here I'll share something very openly that how can you become profitable in this market from option buying. Okay, so option buying, in fact, the odds are against you. If you're an option seller, you can be profitable. But as an option buyer, if you need to survive in the market and if you need to become profitable, if you don't want to lose big, then you have to follow certain rules which you don't know and which you are not following. This is something which I have followed from the beginning onwards, and that's what kept me profitable, and that's what kept me without losing much from option buying. So in trading, you can have four outcomes, right? You can win big, you can win small, you can lose small. These three are acceptable, and you cannot lose big. Now, how can you stay as an option buyer without losing big? That's something which you need to know. I'll show you here, and I'll show you my example also. And this is what exactly I teach my mentees every day in the live session. This is what we try to fine tune, taking stop losses, taking loss per day, taking loss per week, right? And withdrawing the profits, everything I'll show you here. So before that, you can see here, whatever I talk, practically. So I hope you have, gone through my Instagram page. So this is a profit that I have made 1.78 crore in the last 1 year. So this financial year, once we complete March, I'll post for this year also. And when I have made this profit, what is more important is this was my stage. So in 2024, that time I got detected with colon cancer and I was going through chemo, I was going through surgery. And that was the time when you cannot do anything else. If you are running a business, you have to stop. Even I have stopped the mentoring sessions during that time, and 1.5 year I took the break. So you cannot run a business, you cannot do any other job. So only because I was doing trading, I was able to make this, whatever you see here. And then that is why trading is worth it if you learn it properly and if you implemented it properly. So that's the reason why I thought of sharing this. So this is what I am now, and what you see me as fit me, that was not the me before. I was just 55 kilogram couple of years back, right? And from here I recovered and I came like this. And that day, that time, the profit that I've made is what I've posted here. And let me tell you, I have seen the brightest of the brains in India. Okay, and I have seen the brightest of the minds who are struggling in trading also. I have seen doctors, I have seen chartered accountants, I have seen civil servants, I have seen cardiac surgeons, I have seen neurosurgeons who are attending my sessions. And many of my students are IAS officers. Even last week, UPSC result have came, and you can just go through my Instagram page and you can see many of my mentee. This guy have cracked IAS, 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 and he got 10th rank, right? This is Ujjwal, and this is Ananya. She got 13th rank. So you can go through it and you can see. So that is what I'm saying, that I have seen the brightest of the minds. And forget about this IAS officer or IPS officers. I'm talking about the chartered accountants, doctors, and any other professionals if you take. And I have seen many of them are struggling also. But at the same time, I have seen very modest people, housewives, right? And they are doing really good in the market. The reason is they follow these rules, whatever I've discussed with them, whatever I've taught them, whatever I've demonstrated with them. Simple two principles. One thing is that when you lose more. Always have that strict stop loss, because don't need to feel bad for taking the stop loss. You can take it and you have to take it, and that's what ultimately safeguard you. And that's a kind of helmet. You cannot go out in bike without helmet. Just like that is what your stop loss is, right? Any trade, brutally, you have to ruthlessly take the stop loss, and you need to have that level where you have to exit. Don't have hope, and don't have FOMO, don't have greed, don't have all these emotions, because these are poison when it comes to trading. Secondly, withdraw your profits every day. So I'll show you. Just I'll take a couple of weeks my trading journal, and then I'll show you what. So so one more thing, in option buying, I can bring any amount of capital, but I do option buying only with 1 lakh, because I know if I get a very big move, I can do very big in that. If I'm not getting, then I know I'll be a loser. So the odds in my favor is very less. So I have a bigger capital. Whatever I want, I can use that in option selling. But here you will see, even though you see my profits 1 lakh, 2 lakh, but 2 lakh I have made with 90,000 capital. 3 lakh I have made with even 70,000 capital. I have made 1 lakh with 1 lakh capital. So whenever you see my profits, the ones which I post here openly, right? So that is always made with low capital. And that's why I post it. There is no point in showing you 5 lakh profit, which is made with 10 crore capital, or 10 lakh profit, which is made when the profit is 10 crore. There is no point in showing you, right? So 1 lakh profit, 1 lakh capital, that's something which can be shown. And that's what I normally show because I use only that. And when you see this journal, you will actually understand then what we do actually. And that is the reason why you are profitable also. Now, if you are not following me, you can follow me here, right? If you have not seen my Instagram page, I'll give the link in the description. Follow me here. And then this is what we have done in the last 1 week. 6.1 lakh profit. Just a couple of weeks we have taken. That is by using 1 lakh only. Okay. Now, that what are the two rules? Always have the strict stop loss and then withdraw the profits as and when you get it. Secondly, once you made a big profit, next day, don't have that big confidence and go aggressive. Rather, you go defensive because we need to get a fresh start. Don't just carry it away with the previous day's profit, right? In that case, you may go blind. You may forget your rules. So what I do is, for example, this day, I have a 72,000 profit, right? Next day, I'll go slightly defensive because once I get that profit, immediately I withdraw even more than the profit what I've made, and then I keep myself very defensive for the next day because I don't want that profit to get into my head. So this is something which I followed from the beginning and I follow now also. And this is why I'm doing this is because I want to teach the same to my mentees. In between, if you want to see my trades, these are the trades, right? This is the first page. And this is a second page. You can see the trades. Otherwise, some people will come and say, if I just stick to this, they'll come and say this is all edited and all those nonsense, right? So these are the trades. I hope this is very clear now, right? So there is 1 day loss, which I've, accidentally, in fact, the order was not exited on an expiry day that became zero. That order was placed during live market mentoring session and then we closed the system, but the order was there and later only we realized it. Otherwise, when we stopped the mentoring, it was actually positive. So now let me come back to this. So this is a defensive day. Next day, we made a 1 lakh profit. So what I'll do on the next day, I'll withdraw this profit. And what I do is I'll try to be very defensive with small profit, right? A small capital, because I don't want this profit to be there in the capital. You don't know, one day will come where your mind go blind and then you keep taking the trades and you will end up in big loss. So I don't want bigger capital beyond 1 lakh or 1.4 lakhs. That's the max. Sometimes if I have not withdrawn the small profits, it may go to 1.4. Beyond 1.5, rarely only I will use. Okay, then I made 1 lakh profit. So here I'm making 17,000 only. That is a defensive day. Again, this is it was actually a big day. It came from 50,000 profit only, but that's okay, leave it. And then it's a defensive day. Even if I made a loss, then also next day will be a defensive day because I need to get a fresh start. Even if it's a loss, I'll keep it as a defensive day. Even if it's a big profit, then also I'll keep it as a defensive day. I don't get carry forward with the loss nor with the profit. I'll just stay emotionless only. And then comes this big day, 2.5 lakhs profit. If I made 2.5 lakhs profit, why I cannot risk even 1 lakh on the next day? If I risk 1 lakh on the next day, I can make easily 1 lakh profit, minimum 1:1 if you see. But I go very defensive and 27,000, not even 1 by 10th or 10% of the previous day profit, right? So again, on this day, I made 21,000. On this day, I made 78,000. So next day, I'll go big. No, I go defensive, right? Now, one more thing. You can see here, what I do is I withdraw. Whenever I make big profits, whenever there is a profit, I'll keep withdrawing. So you can see here when I made that 2.5 lakh profit, right? So what I should do ideally is I try to withdraw 3 lakh, but in fact my capital was only 1.95. I thought I'll get fully. So that is why I've placed a withdrawal of 3 lakhs, but I got only 1.95. And then immediately next day, I have withdrawn the rest of it. 1.95 I got, and then 1.45 I have withdrawn. And yesterday, if you see, when you made this profit of 78, I have withdrawn already yeah, 80,000 already withdrawn. So what my rule is very simple. Now, this is what you need to understand. My rule in trading is when you make a big profit, don't just carry forward with that profit in your mind. Next day, start fresh, start with low capital, start as defensive. And if you make a small profit on the next day, you get that start. And then on the next day, if you want to, you can go slightly aggressive, right? Secondly, even if you are in loss, next day is not going to be a revenge trade. It should be like a don't get carried forward with a loss also. It should be treated as a defensive day. So a bigger profit, next day is going to be a defensive day. A loss, it can never be a higher loss. It should be a small loss. Now here, you will always be in a small loss. Why? Because you are not keeping, if you are winning, you may win 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh, 2.5 lakhs, because you are losing less capital. So wins can be bigger. But in the worst case, when you have 1 lakh capital, what the worst you can lose? It is 50,000 max. You are not going to lose 100% of your capital because you have only 1 lakh, right? So in the worst case, you will lose 50%. So 50,000 is what is going to be your loss. But if you are winning 2.5 lakhs also. So that is why if you follow this, you won't lose big normally. So that is natural. That is normal. You are not going to lose big. Similarly, when you have a big profit day, be defensive on the next day. When you have a loss day, it should be small loss day. It has to be small loss day. If you follow that, it should be again a defensive day. Most importantly, withdraw your profits. Whenever you make profits, keep withdrawing your profits. That's the most important rule that you want to follow when it comes to option buying. Option selling, there is no problem. You can keep accumulating profits because you have proper trades and you have proper strategies. Option buying, there is no such proper strategies as such. There, everything is well defined. If I'm entering into a spread, I know what is a spread. I know what is a risk reward. Upon entering itself, I know very clearly. I have the hedges also. If I'm taking a straddle, I know. If I'm taking monthly straddle or a weekly straddle or an intraday straddle, I know each of these. Right? If I'm taking a far month straddle, then also I know the risk of it. If I'm going with strangle, if I'm going with iron condor, if I'm going with iron fly or whatever, any spread that I'm taking, I clearly know there because all these are well-defined strategies. But here, that's not the case. You may take random entries. You are not having any perfect strategy when it comes to option buying, and the odds are completely against you. You have a probability of winning 33% only, whereas in option selling, you have a probability of winning 66%. So there you should accumulate the capital. But here, that should not be. So what I do with the profit that I make here, I directly invest in quality stocks and or mutual funds. Then I pledge that I get the margin for option selling. So here I get the capital gain. There I'll make the trading profit. Here also I'll make the trading profit. And this trading profit will keep reinvested. That reinvested amount will be pledged and making the profits also. So this is the cycle that I keep repeating for almost 4 or 5 years. And that's what I teach you guys also. And if you would like to join our sessions, you can always get in touch with us. So see you guys there. Thank you so much.